name is Mark Street and I'm with Remax, and we're going to be talking about residential stats. First, why is that important? It's important because if you were buying in Toronto, you would probably know from all that we've heard that you're going to pay more than list price. I mean, that's very possible. Same with Vancouver. It's like, well, if you're buying or selling in Grande Prairie, you should know what the stats are, or where have we come from. I mean, that's how you price your house. That's how you decide what you're going to buy. And so we're going to just hit a little bit of it. First off, what you need to know, all this stuff, it's on my website, markstreet.ca. Easy for you to get. Look at those. There's many more there than what we're going to go through. We're going to fast forward through lots of this stuff. So here we are, 2008 to 2021. That's where we have the most reliable stats. This stuff not as reliable. This is everything on our MLS system. You know, so here you can see the average sale price up to October the 1st, October the 6th was $349,500, so basically $350 with 898 sales. Now, in the first 3 quarters, not up to October the 6th, but just the first 3 quarters, we had 878 sales. So first 3 quarters of last year, 708, 844. So what does that look like? It looks like we're having a very strong year. That's houses in the city of Grande Prairie. That's what we're going to be talking about. But you go a little bit deeper on my website. Here's houses in the county of Grande Prairie, and there's more there too. So, but let's talk about the city of Grande Prairie. Well, that's where most of the activity is happening. So let's break it down to quarters. So starting off here, 2016, again, this is like our slowest year. The slowest year that I can remember. I mean, there's probably slower years before, but that was a super slow year. All realtors remember that. Okay, here's 2021. Well, here's what's interesting. Look at the third quarter of every year. This third quarter ranked as the second busiest quarter. This one, the first, the second, the first, and the third. So what's that tell you? It tells you that obviously we had a slow third quarter. So not very good, right? I mean, the slowest ranking so far. So first quarter, we really beat the first quarter of 2020. The second quarter, we really beat the second quarter of 2020. But the third quarter, what a disaster. And there were some signs of that indicators of that early on. And so let's look at some of those. This is showing us by the months. Notice the dips and the mountain tops. The dips is December and January every year. With the exception of this, is COVID, when you're under such tight regulations, you could hardly leave the house. Right, so that was obviously slow. But otherwise, December and January, that's always the dips, right? So here's what we can see, is early on in 2021, in July is the 7th month of the year, but it ranked number 5. July shouldn't rank so low as number 5, not up to July. It should rank higher up, and it did in every of those other years. But not in July this year, so kind of an indicator. But dangerous to look at just 1 month and say, well, that's where it is. It's like, you know, that's just a single month, right? You want to take a bigger look at it. So, but it was an indicator. So you have July and then you have August. Well, August was the slowest August. Here's 73 sales in August, you know, even slower than August of 2016 with 82 sales. So August was dismal. I mean, that was like, remember, 2016 was a slow year. So August, not good, right? So we had a lot of faith in September. It's like, okay, you know, suppressed energy. September's going to be crazy. We hope for that. Well, it didn't work out that way. September was not that much better, but it was a little bit, but not much. Here you can see 79 sales in total, but every year before that, 102, 120, 96. It didn't save the third quarter. Let's just say that. Well, it did better than 2016, but that's about it. So, okay, so let's talk about months of inventory. So months of inventory is this. You can see we had 5 months of inventory. In October the 1st, that's how much we had. Here's what that tells you. It says that if houses sold at the rate they did in September, and going forward, they were going to sell just that fast, it would take us 5 months to deplete all of our inventory. Based on how much we had on the market on October the 1st. 5 months is how long it would take us. That's kind of a long time, right? If you look at last year, 4.7. Remember how bad that, you know, it looked like that bar was so much lower on that one slide, you know, the first 3 quarters. It's like it was, but our last quarter just was not that good. So 4.7 months of inventory, and then 3.4. This is more like where it should be, but that was back in 2019. So kind of slow. But you know what? That's not the same for everything. It's not the same for, you know, houses, or it could be different than condos, could be different than townhouses, could be different than manufactured houses. It could even be different per price point. So let's talk about houses, because that's where we're talking. In the city of Grande Prairie, our most popular price point is between $300 and $350. We had 88 on the market on October the 1st. 25 sales. That means that we had 3.5 months of inventory, and that's what you can see right here. That's about normal. I mean, that's good. I mean, last month wasn't that good, but this is actually pretty good. This is really bad compared to what we normally would have. This would usually be a lower bar, but yeah, that price point, this is in a seller, this is a buyer's market for sure, right here. Too high a bar. You know, compared to what it used to be. You know, this one is what we're used to. This one here is actually a pretty good bar. I mean, again, you have to look at what the history is. This one here, last year would have been 7 or 8 months of inventory, right? So this is actually not doing too bad. That's why our average sale price is so high. It's because people are buying more at the higher price point than they are at the lower price point. So anyway, interesting stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you did. If you want more information, I'm Mark Street, 780-933-9233. You can also go to my website, markstreet.ca, and you should, because there's all these and much more on there. So thanks for watching. Bye.